What if Max Muncy's time with the Dodgers is coming to an end and his replacement is already here, just waiting for the right opportunity? Since their explosive start to the season with 8 straight wins, the Dodgers have been living in 2 different gears. A flawless beginning, followed by an inconsistent stretch that has divided opinions. On the field, the team is still on pace for 104 wins, but behind the scenes, there are signs of turbulence. And at the center of this silent storm is Max Muncy. The question lingering in the air isn't if the Dodgers will trade him. The question is when. Trades are part of the Dodgers' DNA. That's how it was with Manny Machado in 2018, with Mookie Betts in 2020. Big bets at crucial moments, deals that change the franchise's course. Now, we might be on the verge of another, but unlike the previous ones, this move might happen by omission, not by boldness. If you love diving into behind the scenes of baseball, if you want to know what's brewing in the heart of one of MLB's most iconic franchises before anyone else, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Here, you're part of an exclusive community that reads between the lines and believes that every great rumor has a hint of truth. Max Muncy is batting .173, an OPS plus of 55, the worst among all Dodger starters. No home runs, no power, no impact. And as if that wasn't enough, he's become a target on social media and in the streets. After a game in Chicago, a fan shouted at him on the way to the team bus. The scene went viral, and with it came an uncomfortable truth. The fan's patience is running out. He's still the same player who hit 36 home runs in 2023. The same who shined in the NLCS with a .333 average and a historic 12 straight plate appearances reaching base. But that all feels increasingly distant. Behind the scenes, the Dodgers seem to be preparing. On Friday, they quietly signed Nick Senzel, former top draft pick of the Reds. He's far from a star. In fact, his numbers are worse than Muncy's, but he was playing in Mexico with a batting average of .591. That's right, nearly 6 out of 10 times he reached base. And the Dodgers love these quiet bets. That's how they picked up J.D. Martinez. That's how they turned Chris Taylor into a key piece. And now, Senzel might be next, but third base isn't the only concern. The Dodgers' rotation is also in crisis. Glasnow, who's making nearly $30 million, left the game on Sunday after just 1 inning due to discomfort in his right shoulder. Snell, another expensive star, is also dealing with shoulder issues. With 2 critical arms sidelined and Muncy struggling, the Dodgers are dangerously close to a perfect storm. And that's when a bold trade starts to make sense. A move, a sacrifice, a gamble. But there's a problem. Nolan Arenado, the most cited name as an ideal replacement, is also in decline. Since the start of 2023, his OPS plus is 106. Muncy, even with all his inconsistency, has a 118 in the same span. And Arenado would cost more than twice the salary, $32 million per year through 2027. Muncy makes less than half of that, and will soon be a free agent. Trading an inconsistent player for another, more expensive and equally inconsistent doesn't seem like the smartest move for the front office. But what if the answer is already in the clubhouse? Andy Pages, who was booed even before Muncy, now has an OPS plus of 146. 4 hits on Sunday. A new hero in the making? The Dodgers aren't afraid to throw young players into the fire. Ohtani Freeman Betts Smith, the top of the lineup, is set. The bottom, however, is another story, and that's where Senzel, Pages, and even Edman could become solutions. If Muncy doesn't bounce back in May, the Dodgers might not wait any longer. They need power. They need defense. They need stability. And if it doesn't come from him, it will come from somewhere else. Do you think it's time for the Dodgers to say goodbye to Max Muncy? Or is there still fire left in that sleeping bag? Let us know in the comments. What if the solution to the Dodgers' pitching crisis is someone who's already worn this jersey before? With a history marked by glory, comebacks, and superstars, the Los Angeles Dodgers once again find themselves on a collision course between expectations and reality. Amid troubling injuries, complex decisions, and an increasingly impatient fan base, a question is beginning to echo through the clubhouse at Chavez Ravine. Is it time for a drastic change? The Dodgers are no strangers to pressure. From the days of Sandy Koufax to the era of Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani, this team has learned to live under the spotlight. Every season comes with the obligation to win. But in 2025, something feels different, something more fragile. Even with a 19-10 start, a record that, on paper, projects 106 wins, there's an uncomfortable feeling hovering over Los Angeles. And that feeling has a name: uncertainty. The rotation, which started the year with sky-high expectations, began to unravel before April even ended. First, Tyler Glasnow, considered by many to be the franchise's new ace, began showing signs of wear. A persistent and unexpected shoulder inflammation is expected to sideline him for at least 2 weeks, possibly longer if treatment doesn't work quickly. Then came the bigger blow. Blake Snell, one of the team's top offseason investments, also landed on the injured list with a similar issue. The diagnosis: shoulder inflammation and an indefinite absence. When 2 of your 3 top pitchers go down at the same time, it's not just games you lose. You lose confidence. You lose rhythm. And more importantly, you lose time. In a 162-game season, that can cost you everything. If you made it this far, you already know the behind-the-scenes drama of baseball can be just as thrilling as what happens on the field. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because a trade bomb could drop at any moment, and you won't want to miss it. It's in this tense atmosphere that an unexpected, but curiously familiar, possibility has emerged. Veteran left-hander Andrew Heaney, currently with the Pittsburgh Pirates, is being mentioned by journalists and insiders as one of the most viable options on the market for the Dodgers. An experienced, affordable pitcher with recent history in Los Angeles. In 2022, Heaney made 16 appearances for the Dodgers, 14 of them starts, and posted a 3.10 ERA. At the time, many saw potential in his outings, even though his season was limited by minor injuries and innings restrictions. Since then, he signed with the Texas Rangers, where he gained postseason experience and became a World Series champion in 2023. Now in Pittsburgh, Heaney is showing one of the best versions of his career. In 5 starts this season, he has racked up 31 strikeouts in 31.1 innings with a microscopic 1.72 ERA. Those numbers place him among the most effective left-handers early in 2025, which, for the Dodgers, could mean not just stability, but relief. And the best part? His contract is short and cheap. 1 year, $5.25 million. That means acquiring him wouldn't cost the Dodgers any of their top prospects. And that's where one name could unlock the deal: Edgardo Enriquez. According to Drew Von Sile of Newsweek, Enriquez, currently ranked as the Dodgers' number 17 prospect, could be an ideal trade piece with Pirates. At 22, Enriquez has potential to become a solid bullpen arm long-term, and Pittsburgh, constantly rebuilding, would almost certainly welcome him into their development pipeline. For the Dodgers, the trade makes sense on every level. Heaney is a familiar name, already pitched under Dave Roberts, and comes in with high confidence. More importantly, he could be plugged into the rotation immediately without requiring complex adjustments, a rare thing for mid-season trades. But why bring back Andrew Heaney now? Because waiting could mean unraveling everything they've built so far. The National League West is more competitive than expected. The Giants are tied with the Dodgers atop the standings. The Padres and Diamondbacks are still in the hunt. In other words, there's no room for error. And relying solely on the recovery of Snell and Glasnow is a gamble too risky, even for a team like the Dodgers. The truth is, the front office knows this. Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomez are paying attention. They know this title window, with Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman in their prime, can't be wasted. They know that now, not 3 months from now, is when you build the momentum that takes a team into the playoffs with authority. And if Heaney arrives, what changes? He's not an ace, but he doesn't have to be. He just needs to provide stability. 5 or 6 solid innings every 5 days. That alone would give Dave Roberts the freedom to reorganize the bullpen. ease the pressure on young arms like Gavin Stone and Landon Knack, and even better prepare to return of veterans like Kershaw and Gonsolin. Heaney is the kind of piece that flies under the radar until he makes a difference at the season's most critical moment. And with a recent track record of consistency and October experience, he could be the quiet difference maker that separates a good team from a championship one. But if the Dodgers don't move quickly, other teams might. Contenders in both leagues are also looking for reliable arms. The clock is ticking, and every poorly managed inning could cost a win, a wild card spot, or an entire season. Now I want to hear from you. Should the Dodgers bring Andrew Heaney back? Or would that move just be a band-aid on a much bigger problem? Let us know in the comments. And if you think this is already dramatic enough, just wait until you see what might happen to Max Muncy if he keeps sliding. In our next video, we'll dive into the behind the scenes of a possible cut replacement or even an external signing. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and come along because the next big twist could be just one trade away.